Afternoon everyone, Rich here again, back for another video for the Diecast F1 review. Here today is the Jaguar Cosworth R1 from the 2000 Formula 1 World Championship. This one driven by Eddie Irvine, and it's a Mattel model. I haven't done one of those for a while. It's a Mattel Hot Wheels model. Not bad, I have to say, but get to the qualities later on. For the car itself, the real car anyway, it was an absolute disaster for Jaguar. And well, I say it didn't really improve throughout Jaguar's career either. 4 points scored in their first season, and I think a podium scored in their second season, but that's another day. The Jaguar R1 coming off the back of a solid season with the Stewart team. Throughout 1999, this Jaguar team had high hopes. Two very good drivers, a championship runner-up in terms of Irvine, and Johnny Herbert in the other car, but the car was an absolute disaster. Very unreliable, very undrivable according to Irvine, and wasn't very fast either. Only 4 points scored, I think 4th in Monaco, and then 6th, I think, in Malaysia, and no points scored by Johnny Herbert throughout the whole season. He just had more bad luck, as Johnny Herbert did. So yeah, the car, although looking good, the car just didn't perform. It was what was the word I was going to use? It was a publicity stunt gone wrong, basically. Kind of brought Ford back into the reality of Formula 1. Money doesn't get you everything, at least reliability. I do have another car in the background there, just moving that out of the way. Yeah, the car was an absolute disaster. But onto the model itself. Like I said, a Mattel model, not hugely popular or hugely desirable amongst collectors, and I just noticed the rear wing's a bit loose. But quality-wise, I wouldn't say it's a bad model. It's very solid. It's very well put together. There's no bits that are going to fall off. The wing mirrors and the T-cam and the barge boards are all well put together. Tyres are all on there fine. Tyres do feel a bit over solid. They do feel a bit, quite hard. They've not really got to want them to fall off. And there's a bit of dust on it because it's in my cabinet. Sorry about that. But it's got all the proper decals of the year, all the HSBC, DHL, and also the big Jaguar emblem on the side there, or say Jaguar badge. And also notice about the paintwork as well. It's not proper. Well, I say it's green, as you can tell, but it's sort of got. I'm not sure what they use or the name for it, but it's got glitter in it, glitter paint or something like that. You can't really tell from the camera, but I don't know what the name of the type of paint they use, but it's sort of zoom in there. It's a glittery green, sparkly paint that does shine up very nicely in the sunlight. And the rear wing has got a lot of stress going on it. So if I look around there, what's the problem there? I think it just needs a bit of glue. I think that's right. May have dropped it a few times in the past, but never mind. But overall, it's not a bad model. There's probably people who are going to say it's cheaply made and tacky and all that other guff. Some people have a bit up their own arse when it comes to quality of certain things, but I suppose if you're going to pay a lot of money for these things, then you are going to want top quality. But these Jaguars, the R1 specifically, is not a hugely expensive model. You can probably pick them up for a tenner, or between £10 and £15, probably as high as £25, if that. They're not very expensive. They're not rare, and they're on eBay. They're non-stop on eBay. Basically, they're never short of supply of them. Although theirs are probably boxed. Mine didn't come with a box. I only paid, I think, £5 for mine at the time. Bargain, and I was happy with it. Sits nicely in the cabinet, and I'm not going to complain. Gimmick-wise, there's a small gimmick with these cars. From around 98 and 2000, Mattel released their cars with opening fuel flaps. If you get your nail in there and just hoist up the fuel flap, and you can see the fuel nozzle or the fuel thing in there. And the same on the other side as well. You can just flip these up, and like that. You do get a little tool with the when it comes in the box, a little tool underneath which allows you to flip the thing up and do it like that. But overall, though, it is quite a solid car. There's nothing really going to break off with it. I think it's one of Mattel's more solid models. Although saying that, I think I've just broken something on the suspension. Never mind. I should check that later on. Driver figures. I've got a bit more detail on them than what Mini Chat's put in, but I think the helmet tend to let the figures down a bit. Got some detailing on there, also a nice steering wheel detail there. And the steering wheel does turn a little bit. And the steering is quite solid as well, so it's not going to fall apart like that. So I turn around the back. Now I would have done a quick look at the back. I'd look around the diffuser, quite nicely detailed under there. Also the tyres and the wheels are on a single axle. I've got the rear exhaust there, the top of the bodywork, something which is lost in Formula 1 recently, although saying that the exhaust now come out the centre of the rear bodywork because of all the turbos and whatnots. Just turn around and we pop underneath. Got the creamy coloured plank underneath, basically how Mattel do things. You got 2000 Mattel Inc. China Jaguar R1 1/18, and you got the Mattel Hot Wheels brand there. And yeah, pretty much all it has to say for there. And what I like to note about these Mattel models, when they mould their cars, they tend to put the barge boards in with the floor, with the mould, so the barge boards are really well held on, so they're not a separate piece, they're all solid and they're not going to fall off just like that. So it's a very good idea that they do that thing that so the mini champs tend to do, tend to stick bolt their bits on afterwards, which tend to fall off a bit more easily. Decal wise, the decals are very well put on this car. I've noticed with all Mattel cars, the decals don't fall off, they don't chip off or flake away like they do on some of the mini champs cars. The decals are very well applied. It'll take quite a bit of rubbing to get them off, or scratching at least. Same with all the wings as well. The decals, although a bit dusty, are not going to come off. The only decal issue with this car is on the Jaguar badge itself, on the rear bodywork. If I'll zoom in here, you see it's flaking a bit where it's attached to the air scoop under the or next to the you can see this piece here. It's attached and it's sort of flaking a bit there, which is underneath the air box. It's flaking a bit there, and it's probably the same on the other side as well. You can see it's really quite flaked a bit there as well. So that's the only downside to this model, or at least the decal wise anyway. It's a bit of an issue there. I haven't noticed it with the later models, so the Jaguar R2 and R3, I think their decals are okay, but I'm not sure. The Jaguar R4 is a Mattel and Mini Champs model, and same with the Jaguar R5 as well. So if I can get hold of both versions, I could do a comparison version of them later on. Don't have a Jag R4, but I do have an R5, although that's the Mini Champs one. Got to spend a bit more to get the other ones. But yeah, I could do a comparison with them later on. Not much else I can say about this car really. I could waffle on all day about it, but I'll probably just go back on myself. We've got all the nice details. So we'll keep putting pressure on that bloody rear wing. That never used to be that loose. I don't know if it's the glue's worn off on it or something. I don't know. Anyway, we've got nice detailing on the front, although you can't see it because of the bloody light outside. So you've got Lear, World.com, Hewlett Packard, DHL and the Bridgestone. And also got the nice wheel rims on these cars. Well, they're not shiny paint, although there's a bit of shine to them. They're sort of a matte coloured paint. The gold rims are the BBS rims. Something I haven't seen really since Ferrari ran them in '97, I think, the last time we had the gold rims. And also on the rear as well, solid piece, because the wheel nut turns with the car, with the wheel, sorry. Have a look at the bonnet detailing under the scoop there, the HSBC and the paintwork. The red line has come out a bit of the white, but never mind. Bit of scratching to the side there, just noticed I'm picking up on the light, the scratching to the HSBC. Can't really tell with the light, but it doesn't feel scratched, but it does look a bit scratched to the naked eye. Can't really pick it up with the camera because of the light, but never mind on that one. Yeah, just going to do a quick spin round here. I really need a turntable for this, but not much I can do. But recommendations, I would say pick this one up. You know, it's a good little model. It's not expensive and it does look good on the shelf. Put it with the other models. You know, put it in a cabinet or whatever. With the it does blend in quite nicely with the Mini Champs models. The only thing that gives it away is the fuel flaps on the back, but not a huge issue. Like I say, I would pick this one up, even if you're just going to play with it on the carpet. You know, it's a cheap model, very well put together, and you're not going to have much problem with it. So yeah, that's pretty much my review of the whole thing. I will come back with more reviews. I do have plenty more to do. If you want to me review a model of your choice, then just let me know and I'll see if I have it and I shall review it. So we shall see then. Well, anyway, This is Rich, signing off, logging off and disappearing, and I shall return with another review, so bye for now.